Hello there guys! For today's video, I'm going to show you how to create long gradient shadow text effect in Photoshop. And also we will dive deeper into using fill to change our background, using type tool, rasterizing of layers, applying motion blur, and using gradient to color our text. So let's get started! So here in our document, I got here a clear canvas, and our first step here is to turn our background to black with the use of fill. So to do that, going on to the menu bar, go to Edit, find Fill, and this Fill dialog box will appear. For the contents, set this one to black, and then hit OK. The next step we're going to do here is we're going to create a text layer with the use of a type tool. So going on to the toolbar, find the T symbol, yes, this one, or just press T for the shortcut key. Okay, so from the options on top, I'm going to set the font style to Bebas, and then for the font, I'm going to increase this one. Right. For the color, you can choose anything you want, but not black, because that's the color of our background for us to able to see it. Now I'll choose white for now and then hit OK. Right. So let's apply the text on our canvas. So just click it over there. All right. All right. That's too small. Okay. So let's put the text doodle royalty. All right. There you go. And let's increase the size by selecting on that layer of the text layer that we just created. Press Ctrl plus T for the transformation command. So once those points are out, now let's click and drag this out for us to increase the size to this. All right. And then hit enter. And by the way, if you find this video helpful so far, please consider subscribing to help YouTube algorithm show my videos to other nerds like us. Now going back, now the next step here is we're going to rasterize this text layer. Going on to the layers panel, select on that text layer, right click on it, and then choose rasterize type. So that's no longer a text layer, right? Now the next step here is we're going to add a color on it. By the way, I prepare here an image of this color combination that I can rely on to color our text with the use of a gradient tool. So from this image, I'm going to press V for the move tool and click and drop it on our original document. Okay, so actually that's just temporary. Okay, now selected on that doodle royalty, I'm going to press Control, hold it, and then click on the thumbnail of that layer. So once I did that, it created a selection on each letters. See? Okay, now the next step here is we're gonna find the gradient tool. So going on to the toolbar, you find this icon here, something like this. That's the gradient tool. Okay, or press G for the shortcut key. Okay, so from the options on top, make sure that you're going to select on the linear. All right, this one. Okay, and then for the color, just click on this, go to basics and choose the first one. Okay, and then from the stops, okay, from here, from this color here, click on this, select on the color, and set this one to red. All right, from this image that we got from Google. There you are. Right, now let's create another stops here. So to do that, so all I have to do is to press Alt and hold it, and then click. Now I already have a sample of the copy, and then just click it from where you want it to be. There you are. Right, so from this color, I'm going to set this one to blue. There you are. And just what we did, hold Alt, then click and drop it and get the color sample. Right, so just what we're gonna do the same thing we did here. Okay, now that looks cool for me. Now, once all said and done, hit OK. All right, so we're still selected on that gradient tool. Now let's apply it on our text. So I'm going to click it horizontally. I'm going to start from left going to the right. Okay, there you are. Right. Now let's deselect this one by just pressing Control plus D. Okay. All right, and we can already remove this image here where we based our color. Now, the next step here is we're going to create a sample selection on the lower part corner of this text. So to do that, going on to the toolbar, go to the second tool, right click on it, and find the rectangular marquee tool. Now, once I have this one, let's create a rectangular selection just around here, okay? Something like that. So once we already have this selection, let's cut it and create its own layer by pressing Control plus J. So that's what we already have here, right? let's name this one as the gradient shadow. Okay, so from that gradient shadow layer selected, I'm going to press Ctrl plus T for the transformation command because we're going to stretch this out. So I'm going to press Ctrl, hold it, and then click and drag this point to stretch this one out. Okay, something like this. Okay, there you are. Now the next step here is we're going to apply a motion blur. So still select under that gradient shadow, go to the menu bar, go to filter, go to blur, and find the motion blur. There you are. Okay, so for the angle, I'm gonna set this one into 90 degrees. Okay, and for the pixels, okay, so you can adjust that from what effect that you're satisfied on. Okay, well, for me, I'm good with 1511 pixels, and then hit OK. Okay, now the next step here is we're going to remove those excess on top of our text, and also from our text. So to do that, from this gradient shadow selected, we're going to add a layer mask. There you are. And then from the selected on that layer mask thumbnail, go to the menu bar, find the brush tool, or B for the shortcut key. So from the brush, I'm gonna choose a soft round brush here. Okay. For the opacity, I'm gonna set this one into the amount of 50%. There you go. And for the foreground color, make sure it's black. Okay. All right. So once all said and done, we can already start erasing this area. Okay. So the brush size is too small, so I'm just going to press closed bracket key to increase the size. Okay. There you are. All right. So let's clean on this area. All right, there you go. I'm cool with this. And that is how to create long gradient shadow in Photoshop.